am not keeping you. Your name did not seem important. However, now I will have it." She tilted her chin upward, her expression haughty. "Forgive me, Your Highness, but my name is not considered a triviality in most settings. I'm Dowager Queen Olivia of Alensand, and I had thought we were going to discuss the merits of marriage." Tarek shifted in his seat, lifting his hand and smoothing his beard. "I am not entirely certain there is any merit to marriage." She blinked her large, luminous blue eyes. "Then why am I here?" "My advisors felt that it would be beneficial for me to speak to you. I am not certain." "Is there another woman you prefer?" He wasn't certain how to answer the question, because it was a foreign thought. Women had never been a part of his life, of his exile. "No. Why do you ask?" "You do require an heir, I would assume." She was not wrong in that. He was the last of the al-Khalij family, all that remained of a once mighty bloodline. Curse his brother for not taking a bride, for not procreating when he had the chance. Now it would fall to Tarek, and nothing in his life had prepared him for the task. Quite the contrary. He had been told that family would be nothing more than a weakness to one such as him. He had been trained to cast off the lusts of the flesh. In order to protect his country, he'd had to become something more than a man. He'd had to become a part of the rock that grew out of the dry, impassable desert. Asking him to become blood and bone again was a tall order. But now he was all that stood between Tahar and her enemies, all that stood between his nation and ruin. He had long been the sword for his people, but now he was the head. A duty he could no more shirk than the previous assignation. "Eventually." "With all due respect, Sheik, the delay in producing an heir is what finds us both here today. I failed to have a child with my husband when I could have, and your brother failed to do so as well. Therefore, I find myself displaced. My brother-in-law is as uninterested in taking me as his bride as I am in becoming her, and you are here on the throne permanently when it should likely be a nephew of yours assuming the position. If I've learned one thing over the past year, it's that delay in procreation can be quite a costly error." Tarek leaned back, his muscles aching. This past month in the palace had done nothing to acclimatize him to modern furnishings. He found the positions they required him to hold unnatural. His original assessment of this queen, Olivia, was that she was fragile. He was beginning to wonder if he had been blinded by appearances. He knew better than that. A man who had spent as many years out in the desert as he had knew better than to trust his eyes alone. Mirages were more than the stuff of legend, as he well knew. In the desert, you were far more likely to find sand than any respite from the heat. Still, when news of Malik's death had been brought to him by the leader of the Bedouin tribe he spent some of his time with, he had been reluctant to return. What could he offer the country as a diplomat? This country that was a part of his soul. A nation left devastated by his brother's rule, by the loss of his parents all those years ago to an assassin's bullets. This country he had sworn to protect at all costs, because it was all that remained. The throne, the protection of Tahar, were the very reasons his parents had lost their lives, which was why he had to return, why he had to rule, why he had to continue on, why he had to heal this nation left broken and in ruins by Malik. And why, no matter how distasteful it might seem, he had to consider the merit of taking a bride, one who would fill in the gaps he could not. "On that you present a well-made point. And yet, I have other options. At the very least, I have proved I am much more difficult to kill than my brother." She arched her pale brow.